Hey, what's good, everyone? It's Stretford. How you're doing? And welcome to another episode of Breaking Dawn. I hope everyone's doing fine. Welcome to lovely Abu Dhabi. I am here live for you guys. Sorry, I'm a little bit late today. Had a lot of things going on. Had to literally rush, get everything sorted out for you guys. And I'm here live for you guys for the latest news about Manchester United. And there is always news when it comes to Manchester United, isn't there? Guys, before I start, please don't forget to subscribe to the channel and smash a like on the video. If you could do that for me, that'd be absolutely fantastic. You're absolutely great people. You're legends. Thank you, everyone who's joined me this morning, of course, guys. Look, we'll dive straight into it. There is news about Marcus Rashford, of course. Marcus Rashford could be leaving the football club. And there has been a decision in regards to Marcus Rashford. There is noise in regards to Marcus Rashford. And Manchester United have exposed what is going to happen to Marcus Rashford going forward, guys. Let me just read some of your comments real quickly. Let me get some of your comments up here. Let's have a look. Good morning, Darko. How you doing, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Good to see you, mate. Good to see Darko in the house. Good morning. Good morning, Sanjay. How you doing, Sanj? Hope you're doing well. Good to see you. Good to see Sanjay, of course. Absolutely loading. I know I'm late today, my guys. Absolutely. Sorry about that. You know, life gets in the way sometimes, doesn't it? Unfortunately. Big up, big up. Hi, Sal. Hope you're doing well. Good to see you, Sanjay. I'm very well. Thank you. Thank you very much. Good to see MUFC now, the legend Sun at Sand and Sal. Triple S, Sun, Sand and Sal. What can be any better than that? I mean, I can think of a lot of things better than that. But, you know, thank you guys for joining me today, guys. Look, Marcus Rashford, there has been a decision made in regards to Marcus Rashford and his future. Now, the decision isn't quite what you think it is. It is actually take one or leave one, basically. So one player could be leaving, one player could be staying. Which are the ones? Manchester United have made a decision to keep Garnacho at the football club and sell Marcus Rashford. Now, however you make about that, how you feel about that, I mean, some people are Marcus Rashford FC, ain't they? Some people, they love Marcus Rashford, and this can't be true. Marcus Rashford leaving the football club, but it is. Manchester United are ready to cash in on Marcus Rashford, the 27-year-old now, of course, guys. Goodness me, time flies, doesn't it? The 27-year-old could look set to leave Manchester United in the summer. Now, a lot of people would have said, nah, let's get rid of Rashford. Let's get rid of Rashford. But nah, Rashford is not leaving the football club. Rashford will be staying exactly where he is. Garnacho, will be staying exactly where he is, my friends. Garnacho will be staying at Manchester United next season. Garnacho is deemed a highly prosperous player for the future. And Man United are not willing to cash in on Garnacho. Instead, they're looking to sell Marcus Rashford, who has been there now, let's be honest, 10 years at Man United. Marcus Rashford is due a testimonial at Man United. Can you believe it? Goodness me. Rasta Stocks, how you doing, my friend? It should be Rashford. It's time to go, and we invest the money into better quality. I totally agree with you, my bro. I think you're absolutely spot on. Man United do need to move on from Marcus Rashford now. He is 27. He should be at his twilight years. I mean, I heard a stat the other day where Chris Wood of Nottingham Forest is 7 goals away from equaling Marcus Rashford's best ever season in the Premier League. We're talking about Chris Wood of Nottingham Forest. Chris Wood, I mean, unbelievable, isn't it, at the end of the day, because Marcus Rashford has been put on this pedestal. Look, you know what? I feel for Marcus Rashford somewhat, I do. But at the end of the day, there's no sentiments in football. We have to move on in regards to that. And Manchester United look to have made the decision in regards to Marcus Rashford by keeping Garnacho and not getting rid, I think that's a bit sinister, but, you know, parting ways with Marcus Rashford. So Marcus Rashford looks likely, I'm talking like, guys, you heard it here, 80% sure that Marcus Rashford won't be playing for Manchester United next season. I personally think this will be good for Marcus Rashford going forward. I think it would be nice for Marcus Rashford to have a new challenge, maybe go to PSG, a club like that, where the pressure is a little bit less. You know, the pressure will be a little bit less if we could do that, absolutely. Big up, Rasta. What's the view and sunshine are nicer? Thank you very much. Thank you very much, my friend. Thank you. I'm in lovely Abu Dhabi, as people know. It's where I live, of course, guys. But I've been on a business meeting this morning, so I was a little bit late. Sorry about that, guys. So, you know what? It's been an absolute nightmare at the end of the day, running around and stuff. But you know what? It is what it is, guys. It is a massive weekend, of course, guys. Sal, has Rashford let down the fans more than any other player in United? Look, letting down is a big word. But one thing I will say is that these players are not the same as the players that they used to be. You know, big up Darko, by the way. Hope you're doing well. You know, these players are not the same. Don't have the same sort of love for the club like the players used to have love for the club. I mean, I remember a time people would bust their gut to play for Man United. People would break their leg to play for Man United back them days. You know. Nowadays they don't have that drive. I just don't think they do. I think that's nothing to do with Marcus Rashford. That's to do with a generation. You know what I mean? He's too rich too soon. He got rich too soon. He was made a millionaire when he was a teenager. So at the end of the day, what happens when you make a millionaire a teenager? You know what's going to happen, isn't it? It's like insanity, isn't it? At the end of the day, you know, making someone so young, so rich, who's not really experienced life, so to speak, of course, guys. So you know what? One thing I would say is that I feel like Marcus Rashford should leave the football club. I think he should. I think he should find another football club now. I think there's a lot of buyers out there. But the only way we're going to get buyers is we reduce the transfer fee. This is the key. Man United need to reduce the transfer fee, because if they don't reduce the transfer fee, then no one's going to buy him. Because if his wages are astronomical, his wages are ridiculous, 325,000 a week he's earning at Manchester United at the moment. And do you know what? That is a lot of Skrilla for your Willa at the end of the day. Do you know what I mean? So that's a lot of money. That's more than people earn in their lifetime. And when you're seeing people being made redundant on 30 grand a year, it does really hit home, doesn't it? That, you know what, these footballers, if you sell one of those footballers, how many jobs can you save? I think I calculated it the other day. It was about 500 jobs you could say. Big up, Brian. How you doing, my friend? Good to see you. It would be crazy getting rid of Garnacho. It would be. It'd be one of the most ridiculous decisions, but they're not going to get rid of Garnacho. Luckily, Ineos are smarter than we think at the end of the day in some things. Garnacho is going to be a great player going forward. I mean, he's got time to develop as well. Argentinian international, our top scorer at the moment in the Premier League. So at the end of the day, look, Garnacho is not going anywhere. And a lot of people are on Garnacho's back unfairly. There was rumours about the leaks, and I have on good authority that he did not leak anything. And people are just jumping on that bandwagon now, you know, to just find any stick to beat him with, basically. And I think it's out of order when you're talking about a teenager who plays for our football club, you know, and we never used to do that. Unfortunately, not only has players changed at Man United, fan base has changed as well. Fans have changed at Man United. We ain't got the same sort of mentality and character that we used to have as a Man United fan base. We used to be a family orientated football club. Nowadays, we're full of egotistical people with opinions, and they don't change their opinions. When I was younger, growing up, I didn't used to like certain players playing. I didn't used to like, you know, this player playing, certain player playing. But we always used to change our opinions based on facts, and we weren't stubborn in our opinion because we had a big ego. Obviously, social media didn't exist back then, you know, and internet didn't even exist back then, to be honest with you. So we spoke face to face, and we came out with the conclusions. And this is why this player should play. This is why that player should play. Nowadays, it's like, I don't like Garnacho, so this is why I'm going to get that stick and beat him with, no matter what it is. I'm going to make up a story. I'm going to say this, and I'm going to attack Garnacho, and Garnacho is this, Garnacho is that. Garnacho is the future of this football club, believe you me. At the end of the day, no player at that age is finished at that age. No player is the finished article. No player. Garnacho is a fantastic player. He's going to be a fantastic player for many years to come, guys. Many years to come. And we have to show him support. We have to. Because at the end of the day, look, who was their finished product? How were you at 20 years old? What was you doing at 20 years old? How was your mentality? You know, at the end of the day, he needs support. He needs support from the fan base. He needs support from everyone. And these people with big platforms are really, really harming the player, so to speak, you know, constantly on his back just because they were made to look like a prat outside Old Trafford, you know. And at the end of the day, just because they are made to look like a prat at Old Trafford, their life now is dedicated to slandering Garnacho. Now, Garnacho plays too much. I absolutely agree. Garnacho shouldn't be playing every single game. But what we can do is that we have to nurture him. So Alex Ferguson used to do that with Cristiano Ronaldo, and many other young players. He used to nurture players. Sometimes he'll send players off to back home to see their families and things like that, you know, just so they relax and they recuperate. At the moment, we're putting a lot of pressure on the 20-year-old's back. And, you know, he's playing every single game, and he shouldn't be playing nearly every single game. He should be on the bench here and there. He should be, you know, starting here and there, you know, and slowly nurtured into the team. This is why I do believe that Man United need to bring in a couple of more experienced players to nurture those players, preferably winners, preferably players that have been winning their whole career, because at the moment, I don't think we have winners at our football club. Liza Rami, how you doing? Salam alaikum. Liza Rami, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. Morning, Sal. Sell Rashford, swapping with Hakimi at PSG. Then we have a Moroccan fullbacks playing in a position. Imagine that. That would be a first, isn't it? When was the last time that happened in the Premier League? I remember two Moroccans playing for Coventry City, Yusuf Chipo and Mustafa Hadji. Do you remember that? Do you remember those? Those were legends, guys. If you know, you know. Yusuf Chipo and Mustafa Hadji, they're absolutely ballers, guys. Ballers. They were absolutely. Now, I want to get into a bit of transfer news. Man United, of course, have basically tied up a deal for Diego Leon, the 17-year-old from Paraguay. He will be arriving in the summer. Can't arrive in January because of his age, but he will be arriving in the summer. A left back. Fabulous, isn't it? We got a left back at Man United. Wow, you know what I mean? At the end of the day, a left back. And he will be coming in the summer. But Man United are looking to sign their second player under Ruben Amorim. And who is that player? I hear you cry. It is likely that the signing that Man United can make next is Ederson from Atalanta. Ederson, of course, has been on Manchester United's radar for a long time now. In the summer, I was talking about Ederson, fantastic midfielder, Brazilian international, of course, guys, a very good player. And Manchester United are looking to bolster the midfield position by couping Ederson. Ederson, I mean, I spoke about him in the summer. People know how I feel about Ederson. I think he's a fantastic player. Atalanta have got a few fantastic players. I mean, I'm a big fan of Lookman as well. Lookman's a great player as well. Do you know what I mean? And the way he's developed at Atalanta as well, because let's not forget, Lookman was at Everton, you know, and the way he's developed at Atalanta and moved and got better is absolutely fantastic, in my opinion. And I wouldn't mind a Lookman at Man United as well. He is on Manchester United's list as well. But Atalanta, central midfielder, Ederson could be the next Manchester United signing after Diego Leon. Now, look, you know what? He will request a high transfer fee. Man United are not looking to spend a lot of money this summer. I know a lot of people want to see us sign Kvaratskhelia. They want to see us sign all these great players, of course, Gutierrez and stuff like that. But Man United will not be spending a lot of money this summer. Man United are refraining from that. They've changed their structure. So Man United will be looking for the next big thing. And the next big thing is Diego Leon. You will be surprised how good Diego Leon is. I mean, at the end of the day, he's known as the beast in Paraguay. He's an absolute monster for his age at 17. At that left back. And one thing you get with South American players in general, you get that grit, you get that heart, it's like the street footballer, as I said. It's the street footballer. It's the grassroots footballer as well. Let's get some of your comments in. Big up, Jim. How you doing, my friend? Good to see Jim in the house. Good to see you, mate. Just get rid of Garnacho. If we get rid of Garnacho, another talent could come back to bite us. Absolutely, Jim. I don't think we're going to get rid of Garnacho, though. It's going to be Marcus Rashford. Sorry, Jim. Good afternoon. Good afternoon to Jim. How you doing, Jim? Big up, Jim. Good afternoon. Big up to you. Big up, Jim. Of course. Yes, okay, my friend. It's all good. Big up, Jim in the house. The legend that is Jim, of course, guys. Absolutely. Brian, please ask Jim if he's. Goodness me, you starting already? It's too early for that. Good to see you, Sal, Brian, and all the chat. Lovely surrounding around you. Absolutely. Thank you so much. I'm in Abu Dhabi at the moment, just doing the thing, guys, and It's lovely here, but I've been extremely busy this morning, to be honest with you guys. I've been extremely busy running around. That's why I was late about 20 minutes today, guys. So sorry about that. Here we go for Diego Leon, guys. Absolutely. Here we go for Diego Leon. To be honest with you, I'm excited to see Diego Leon playing for Manchester United, to be honest. And guys, it is Manchester Derby weekend. And you know what? These derbies are massive. And not least now, because Manchester United and Manchester City are in bad form. You know, when has that ever been said the last 10 years? You know, we're both in bad form, of course, guys. So one thing I would say is that we have to capitalize tomorrow. Tomorrow is the day we capitalize on defeating Manchester City. We drew a win at the Etihad, of course, guys, the empty had, as we say. We're due a win there. It's been a while since we won at the Etihad, and now's the time to capitalize on their downfall. You know, they will be looking to bounce back, of course. They were saying, Manchester United, what a way to bounce back. No better way to bounce back than against Manchester United. Of course, guys, of course they're going to say that, but no better way for us to win against Manchester City than now, at the end of the day, to be honest with you. And I believe Man United can win tomorrow. And we should believe, but it depends how we start this game. It really does depend how we start this game, how we implement ourselves going forward, of course, guys, absolutely. Manatata. Sal, what have you been seeing on Garnacho that Biryani game hasn't? I've seen the top goal scorer. I've seen that scissor kick against Everton last season, which was one of the greatest goals I've ever seen live. I've seen a player who plays for Argentina as a teenager. The Biryani game, as you quite rightly pull it, are exactly that. Biryani eaters. That's it. That's all they are at the end of the day. Just chubby biryani eaters. That's it. And at the end of the day, they know nothing about top level sport, elite competition at the end of the day, because you just need to look at them to know that. You know what I mean? But one thing I would say is that as a man of experience who's supported the football club for 40 years odd, I would say that Garnacho is a very, very promising player going forward. If we put Garnacho on the transfer list right now, the likes of Barcelona, Real Madrid will be fighting for his signature. And you know why, don't you? Because he's only 20. He can be developed. He can be nurtured. He can, and that's the thing. He hasn't reached his level yet. None of those players have. Rasmus Højlund hasn't. Ahmad hasn't. None of those players have reached their level yet. Absolutely. So I'm getting cautiously excited. Be careful. Absolutely. Me too, Jim. Me too. You legend. Big up. Got big up, CQ. How you doing, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Good to see you, mate. Got my ad and looking forward to today's entertainment. Looks alive where you are, and hopefully this derby will be amazing. Thank you so much for joining me, CQ. Is it CQ? So my eyesight's not as great as it used to be, but thank you so much for joining me today, mate. It's just a temporary location. I'm not usually here. I'm usually in my studio, but you know what? Thank you everyone for joining me today. You know what I mean? It is what it is. You know what? We have to bring you the live content no matter what. Of course, guys. Big up, everyone. Good sunny afternoon. Good afternoon, Pearl. How you doing? I hope you're doing well. Good to see you. Good to see you. Really good to see you on the stream. It is match weekend, guys. It is Manchester United against Manchester City. And do you know what? We owe them one. We owe them a good hiding. And you know what a good hiding is? An absolute annihilation. That's what we owe them. You know what? They've rubbed our face in the mud for many years now, and it's about time this stopped. Man United need to change the record, and Man United need to go out there now and show them who the real Manchester team is. You know what I mean? Manchester is red. Manchester will always be red, guys. No matter what people want to say, Manchester will always be red at the end of the day. Let's have a look at this. Is your prediction start 11? I'm going to give you that later, Rasta. I'm doing my match preview later on today. I'm going to be doing that on Chatterbox. So I'll be doing my match preview then, and I'll be giving you my prediction on the lineup and also talking you through Manchester City, the history of Man United and Man City. I mean, I've been to a couple of Man United, Man City games. I mean, the biggest game I missed the game. When I had my season ticket, I missed the game between Man City and Man United. And you know what game it was? It was the 4-3 game when Owen scored the last-minute goal. I couldn't make the game. I had a family emergency, and I couldn't make the game. I was so gutted. I was so gutted that I missed that game because it's probably one of the best Manchester derby of all time. And I sat right behind. My seat used to be right behind where Michael Owen scored his goal. It was right behind there, of course. Sal, what if I recommend for the game to close down Man City spaces and don't let them play their game and then compact? Yeah, I mean that's more like Jim. Yeah, good point, Jim. That's more like a counter-attacking style football. We keep it tight. We keep them close. And then when the time comes, we capitalize on any spaces that we receive. Hopefully, we will get some chances in the game, of course, because Man City are not performing well. Let's be honest. They lost 4-0 to Tottenham Hotspur. 4-0 to Tottenham Hotspur. I mean, in anyone's language, that is a terrible result. Do you know what I mean? So, a very good point, Jim. And I think that Man United need to keep it tight. We need to quieten down the crowd for the first 20 minutes. For the first 20 minutes, it's very important that we keep a clean sheet and we don't concede anything early. Look, I'm telling you this now because you know what? Man United have had a habit of conceding early, right? So I hope that Man United don't concede early and hope Man United keep it tight for the first half an hour. And then obviously, whenever we get a chance, Sir Alex Ferguson used to do it in these big games. He used to keep it tight. And then when the counter-attack happens, sometimes you counter-attack. Look, you know what? Sometimes you have to play counter-attack in these games. You know, sometimes you have to. Even Alex Ferguson used to do it against the big teams. He would go away from home, set up nice and compact, nice and tight, nice and narrow. When the time comes to spread the game and to counter-attack, he would counter-attack and generally Man United would score. You remember the goals we scored against Man City in the past? You know, all those goals for Rooney, etc. Those were counter-attacks. And why was Ole Gunnar Solskjaer so successful at the Etihad? Counter-attack, of course. CQB, big up CQB, big up yourself. Thank you so much for joining me today, my friend. Thank you so much for joining me today. So if Amorim starts Garnacho tomorrow, then what will we expect from Garnacho's performance? I don't think he should start tomorrow, manager. I think that we should be more compact. I think Garnacho should come on in about the 60th minute. And when Garnacho comes on in the 60th minute, I think he can use his pace to spread the game and he can obviously create problems for Manchester City. I do think we need more technical players in there tomorrow, something like an Ahmad and a Mason Mount. I wouldn't play Bruno as a number 8. I would rather play him as a number 10, so it could be Mason Mount and Bruno. I would play a much more technical game than a pace-filled game. The game should be tight for the first half of the game. Basically, when we get up to 50, 60 minutes, then you can bring on a Garnacho. and then you can obviously create big problems for Manchester City. And that's what we should do. You have to be smart in these sort of games. Garnacho is not the finished article yet. I don't think he can hold up the ball yet in regards to that and control that little area of the pitch. I think that we have to keep the ball, and the longer we keep the ball, the better for Man United, because at the end of the day, Man City are good at keeping the ball, and we have to keep the ball away from Manchester City's area. So, you know what? If we can get Mason Mount and Bruno, something like that, or Ahmad and Bruno, who can keep the ball, bring the ball out, carry the ball, then that is going to be good for Man United. I don't think I would play players like that. Though players that I would start at Old Trafford, basically. We're capable of pulling it off, need to fix up, give away the ball cheaply and stay in the game with good defence and strong attack. Confidence is key. Absolutely spot on, Jim. You're on fire today, Jim. Absolutely spot on, mate. What I would say is that exactly what you said. We can't give the ball away cheaply. Ruben Amorim did mention about giving the ball away. I mean, when you give the ball away, you put your team under extreme pressure, don't you? And when you're playing against a team like Manchester City, more times than not, they will punish you. And we've done that over the last few years against Man City, giving the ball away cheaply at Old Trafford and at the Etihad, to be honest with you. So at the end of the day, we got to stop giving the ball away cheaply. We got to keep the ball, and we got to be obviously compact and not give anything away, guys. I would personally play Ugarte and Casemiro in midfield. I would keep it tight. I would keep it solid in there. I wouldn't give away anything, and then when the game gets older, when the game gets to about 60 minutes, then you can spread it a little bit. You can bring on your Garnacho, you can bring on Mainu, you can bring on those players, and then you can obviously pick them off like that. That's what I would do. Let their confidence drain their confidence as much as you can. If we can drain their confidence as much as possible, then you know what? We have a chance. We have a chance. Every team has a chance against anyone. But at the end of the day, Manchester City are not the Manchester City they were a year ago. They're not playing well, and we have to feed off that. We have to capitalize on their weaknesses, and hopefully we will. I know that we're not playing well. I know that we're not good at the moment. But you know what? What way to get good confidence by beating Manchester City away from home? What a way to build our confidence by doing that. That would be absolutely incredible, of course. So would you mind, Amorim, if he parks the bus and stops City? I wouldn't mind, Matata, because sometimes in football you have to do that. In football you have to do that sometimes, especially when you're playing away from home. Arsenal did it. Arsenal do it all the time. Chelsea do it. Why are we going to be any different? At the end of the day, if we go, look, when Man United played Barcelona in the Champions League final 2 times, right? Guardiola lured Alex Ferguson into a plain attacking style of football. And basically, he played into Pep Guardiola's hands because Alex Ferguson fell for it. Because what Pep Guardiola had said, he said that Man United play an attacking, attractive style of football. I really admire Man United by the way they play, attractive, attacking style of football. And what happened? Man United got picked off and beaten because we tried to play them at their own game. And at the end of the day, we had Ryan Giggs in midfield and stuff like that. We were in their late 30s and stuff and playing against Iniesta, Xavi and Busquets, who were in their prime, of course. So what Man United needed to do was defend, be compact, just like we were in 2008 when we played Barcelona. And we ended up winning 1-0 on aggregate. No goals conceded because we played a constructive, narrow, tight style of football and not giving anything away. And that's how Man United need to play against Manchester City tomorrow. You cannot be naive in football. You cannot be, overly zealous when you play in football. You cannot be like that, because at the end of the day, you have to have an element of respect. Manchester City have De Bruyne. They have these type of players in the midfield. I know they're missing Rodri. Rodri is their most important player, but they still have Haaland. They still have Bernardo Silva. They still have Foden. They still have these type of players playing for the football team. So we have to be careful. But one thing we have to say, we cannot nullify our attack completely. We cannot completely ignore our attack. We have to attack when we have a chance to attack, when we have a chance to counter-attack. We have to go for it full throttle, and we have to take our opportunities. And ruthlessness is key. Ruthlessness is key. When you're playing in these games, once you get your opportunity, take the opportunity. 1-0, that's it, 1-0. And that's what we need to do. At the moment, we're not ruthless enough. And when these teams come up against us, they're going to give us pressure. So we're going to have to take our chances when we have to take our chances, of course, guys. Absolutely. So isn't Jim demanding something from our players which they don't have? I mean, at the end of the day, we'll have to wait and see if they don't have it. At the end of the day, we have to wait and see. We have to wait and see how Ruben Amorim implements his tactics and how he goes forward with these tactics, and if he can do that, and hopefully he will, and Man United will improve. I mean, you know what? We do have some good players there. I know we have some bad apples. I know that most teams do, but we do have some good players there, enough to beat Manchester City, in my opinion. In my opinion, of course, my humble opinion. Jim, In the Fergie era, we also dominated well on the counter-attack. Players were mentally and physically fit, well built for the system. Alex Ferguson said we need to deal with what we have. Absolutely. Let me give you a little example. There was a game against Chelsea under Sir Alex Ferguson at Stamford Bridge, and we scored 2 goals in the opening 15 minutes. Van Persie. You can look at Man United's starting 11 from front to back, and we didn't have necessarily the best team. We didn't. We just had the best pattern. We didn't necessarily have the best individual players, I should say. We just had the best team. We knew how to play. We knew how to play counter-attack. We knew how to play the Sir Alex style of football. And when we counter-attacked, we were ruthless. We were ruthless. We picked them off. Goal 1, goal 2, 2-0. Chelsea have an uphill challenge, of course. Chelsea have to up. And at the end of the day, we ended up winning that game. This is what you have to do. You know, you catch them unawares. You say, okay, City, come at us. See what you got. And then when the time comes, bang. You go on the attack. You use your pace. And you know what? You can exploit that pace, of course. You can exploit it, of course. Matata, Sal, did Pep win over Fergie in the mind games in that match? Yes, Matata, he did. And I will say it now. I've said it for years, since the time that Man United went to attacking, went to gun-ho. They played Barcelona at their own game. He went that way. We did have Darren Fletcher. In the second game, we had Darren Fletcher suspended because he got a red card against Arsenal in the semi-final. So we were a little bit light in that. So what I would have done, I would have played Ji-Sung Park in that midfield. I think it's been said before, Man United completely went the wrong way. We played Ryan Giggs against Iniesta kind of thing. Ryan Giggs is a winger. You know, we played him in the central midfield against the likes of Iniesta and Busquets and Xavi and Messi, you know, and that was a wrong formation to do. Man United should have kept it compact. Man United should have been tight. I mean, and that's what we should have done. And that was a mistake. And every manager makes mistakes. Every manager makes mistakes. Fair play to Alex Ferguson. He tried to stick to his philosophy. But what you have to understand is that at the time, Barcelona were a good team and they had world-class individuals, some of the greatest players of all time. It's probably one of the best teams I've ever seen, you know, and unfortunately, the Man United team, we didn't have Cristiano. We had Cristiano Ronaldo in the first game, and we were naive in that first game as well. We didn't really perform. We didn't turn up in Rome, and twice we played into their hands. To be honest with you, in 2008 we didn't. We played them over 2 legs at the Nou Camp, and we missed a penalty in the Nou Camp, by the way, and we played them at Old Trafford, and we ended up winning 1-0 on aggregate. Paul Scholes with that fabulous goal, of course. And that is the only time we really played Barcelona how you're supposed to play against Barcelona. Granted, we had Cristiano Ronaldo in 2008. He was at his peak and stuff. Yeah, I understand that. But at the 2 games in the final, I think we got it wrong. And you know what? That happens in football. So Alex Ferguson should have done it. Obviously, he went a little bit more cautiously in that game. I strongly agree with Sal. We need to be ruthless, whatever cost. We need to fight. That's all I ask for. We lose or draw, fight for the shirt and to the death. They're winning tops. Absolutely. It's the first thing we have to do, Jim. You know, is this: we have to fight for the shirt. We have to give 100% and leave everything on the pitch. Like the old cliche is, you leave blood, sweat and tears on the pitch, guys. On the pitch. You leave everything out there. And you know what? This is a derby, a Manchester derby. This is Manchester City, who have been laughing at us for the 11 years, smacking us up 6-3, 6-1, 3-0, 4-1, all these kind of scorelines that Man United should never be losing, you know. And but now it's about time they had a taste of their own medicine, in my opinion. It's about time that we went after them and we gave them what they deserve, which is an absolute beating. I mean, I'm not going to be overly zealous, guys. I am enthusiastic. I'm always positive in regards to my football club, but I just want to see Man United go out there and implement themselves properly and make a good account of themselves. And you know what? Make us proud. Make us proud for a change. Make us proud. Go into a big game and go out there and show us you can win. Show us what you're made of. Show us, because those players there are still on audition. They're still on trial. They're still there on trial. And you know, at the moment, if we judged and analysed the trial so far, how has the trial been? How has this audition been? It's been a failure, hasn't it? A lot of these players have been failing. You know, a lot of these players. I mean, Ruben Amorim must look at it right now and think, you know what, these players are just simply not good enough. I need my own players and stuff. You can see it on his face, of course. Darko, Sal, is Amorim experiment time over? Not that we can't be losing points in this contact. At least we suffered 3 points thanks to Højlund. I mean, let's not forget Højlund has been absolutely fantastic under Ruben Amorim so far. I mean, I've always rated Rasmus Højlund. I think he will be a fantastic player going forward. He is only 21. As we know, people were calling him all sorts of names over the last year. You know, obviously, that is exactly what I've been saying about young players. You can't write off young players too soon, of course. Rasmus Højlund has some of the best records in Europe at the moment. He has some of the best. He has a better record than Mohamed Salah in Europe. You know what I mean? At the moment. So at the end of the day, that is exactly what it is. And we have to obviously be very, very careful with our young players. And One thing I would say in regards to the experiment is not over yet. It's only been 3 weeks. Remember, Ruben Amorim hasn't had a pre-season. And pre-seasons last a couple of months, don't they? And to implement your style, to get your tactics correct. It's not only that, where he's playing a unique style of football that these players have never played before. So that is another thing, that is going to be difficult to implement. He's going to find out that a lot of those players don't have it in them to play those tactics. He's going to find out a lot of those players, are not up for it. And those players will not be there next season. One of them is Marcus Rashford. This is why Marcus Rashford is a very, very sensitive topic, because I don't think he's really given his all. I'll be honest with you guys. I don't think he's given his all, if I'm being honest. I hope I'm wrong. But it doesn't look that way. Lumen. Sal, is it time Amorim picked his lineup according to the match and City lineup, not according to the experiment? No, because success doesn't lie in a compromise. You cannot compromise your philosophy for one game. You have to stick by it and believe in it, in my opinion. And big managers do that. And if you want to be successful, you have to believe in your philosophy. It has obviously worked at Sporting Lisbon, and it did take Sporting Lisbon a long time, to get used to it. It did take them a long time. But look at Sporting Lisbon under Ruben Amorim; they're relatively unbeaten. And to be honest with you, they didn't win the league for God knows how long, 2 decades or something. Then they go on this winning run under Ruben Amorim. Look at Sporting Lisbon since Ruben Amorim has left. The way they've been playing, the way they've been losing, serial losing now. At the end of the day, Gutierrez is not scoring apart from penalties, things like that. So at the end of the day, stick to your philosophy. Success doesn't lie in the compromise. You cannot compromise your philosophy over being scared or being worried about this team or that team. His tactics worked. They worked against Man City before. He beat Man City 4-1 with his tactics. Let's not forget. It's all to do with the players. He needs to bring in the players that he needs, of course, guys, to implement it effectively, of course. Kenny, how you doing, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Big up traveling back to Australia today. Big up, Kenny. Have a safe trip, mate. Have a really good trip and be safe and enjoy it, mate. Enjoy it. Enjoy your travels. Big up, of course, Kenny. Of course, Lumen Sanjeev bringing all the Indian spices to Australia. Yeah, a full bag of them. I did that once when I went to Tunisia. I came back to England with a full bag of spices and herbs. My goodness me, I got stopped at the airport in England. Obviously, why? You know why? You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, yeah, a big bag of spices doesn't look very good, does it? Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day. But yeah, best of luck, Kenny. Are you going to miss the Man City derby, Man United derby, the derby, Manchester derby? Look, guys, it is match weekend. I'm excited. I mean, I've seen some great games between Man City and Man United over the years. I've seen a lot of great goals. I mean, not least the Wayne Rooney overhead kick. We remember that, don't we? But you know what? I come from a generation where Man United used to defeat Man City every single week. In the 90s, we only had to worry about Sean Gota and Uwe Rosler, Georgie Kinkladze and people like that. And we used to wipe the floor with them most of the time. I was at a game where we won 5-0 at Old Trafford once, and at the end of the day. But don't forget, when Sir Alex Ferguson was up and coming, we had these bad results. We lost 5-1 to City under Alex Ferguson in the early 90s, not the 6-1, in the early 90s. So obviously we have to be ready for these games, of course, guys. Kenny, for now, I don't trust these players, even though I know City are crap. That's the thing. That's the thing, Kenny, isn't it? It's all about trust at the end of the day. It is all about trust. Say this to many people. We have the best youth system in the world. The problem is not the youth. It's the poor leadership built around the players, around the youth. Will retire. Absolutely. And then when we talk about the class of 92, Jim, these players of the class of 92 walked into a team that was serial winners. Do you know what I mean? And at the end of the day, you know what? They had Cantona, they had Bruce, they had Schmeichel, they had Keane, they had Cole. They had these type of players to come into the team. When they came into the team, they could look around, they saw Andy Cole. You look right, you see Roy Keane. You look behind, you see Peter Schmeichel. You look forward, you see Eric Cantona. Nowadays, who do you see? Marcus Rashford. So at the end of the day, look, we need to build a winning, obviously, formation, you know what I mean? And, build a winning team and build a winning philosophy before we can bring in too many youngsters, because you know what? These players are going to be a bad influence on these young players, to be honest with you. Unless we just completely go gun-ho and we bring in 8 or 9 young players and just go for that. But that doesn't work, We're liable to get slapped up. You know what I mean? So what we got to do, we got to slowly bring in those players into the team, bringing the young players into the team. Obviously, I hope that Harry and Mass plays some football sometime. I'm a big fan of Harry and Mass, as you know, the Harry and Mass fan club. Absolutely. Sal, any particular player you could snatch for a goal for us? Sal, any particular player you think will snatch a goal for us? Rasmus Højlund. Don't be surprised if Bruno scores tomorrow. Don't be surprised if Bruno scores tomorrow. I've got a feeling something like that will happen. I think Bruno could score for us. Corners and set pieces are important. At the moment, we're not doing corners and set pieces, and this is an issue that I've been having with Man United. It annoys me because over the history we've been great at set pieces. We've been fantastic at set pieces, but recently we've been rubbish, haven't we, at set pieces? And to be honest with you, we need to improve attacking and defending. We need to improve our attacking set pieces and our defending set pieces, of course, guys. So at the end of the day, hopefully we do something. Hopefully we capitalise on any chances we get. Kenny was in the UK. Was he? I thought he was in India. Rasta, I was in India. Yeah, there you go. There you go. Haven't been to UK yet. Hopefully we'll go to the UK. Hopefully we'll meet up all together. The community will meet up in the UK. We're going to see a game together. That'd be absolutely amazing, wouldn't it? All of us meeting up together in the UK, watching Man United. That'd be great, innit? Man United, us lot, the Stretford Post community, Kenny TV, everyone. It'd be a laugh, wouldn't it? It'd be a great laugh. We do that one day. Definitely, we'll have to do that. Get everyone from all around the world to go and watch a Man United game together. You know what I mean? But we'll rent out a little box. I'll tell you what, right? If Man United win the league, right, let's arrange that. If Man United win the league one day, I'm not saying we're going to win the league this season, by the way, but I'm talking about in the future. If Man United win the league, let's arrange something like that. Let's arrange like a gathering and we go and see a game. It'd be absolutely fantastic, wouldn't it? That'd be lovely. That would be lovely, wouldn't it, at the end of the day? But you know what, guys? It's time to be enthusiastic, not being overzealous. Don't be too like, put your heart in it, because at the end of the day, tomorrow's going to be a difficult game, and we know it's going to be a difficult game. But one thing we have to promise ourselves is that we're not going to jump on the manager. At the end of the day, success doesn't happen overnight. As I said yesterday, right? You can walk into a gym, you're overweight, right? Just because you go gym one time doesn't mean that you're going to have a six-pack. Do you know what I mean? A bit like being a boxer. Just because you box in a training, you train boxing one time, doesn't mean you're going to become Mike Tyson, does it? You've got to be patient, and these things take time. As I said, it's all about doing it every day consistently, doing the easy things, the simple things, the hard things every day perfectly, 100%. If you can implement this and be consistent, and that is the most important thing at the end of the day, you will get it right. But it doesn't happen overnight. It doesn't. That is not how success works. It was Alex Ferguson. It didn't take that. And people are going to talk about Chelsea. Chelsea are not going to be successful, guys. Mark my words. Chelsea are not going to be successful. People talk about Liverpool, and I'm not talking about one-off successes here and there. I'm talking about consistent success. Consistent success takes time. We want consistent success. We don't want one FA Cup here. Even a Premier League title. We win one Premier League title and go 10 years without a Premier League title. What's the point? We need to have a plan to be consistently successful for years to come. That's how we are trying to do it, so that we dominate again, just like we did under Sir Alex Ferguson. That's what I'm looking for, of course. Jim, exactly so. When we took to the past, we can learn so much from it and use it as a guide to success and crave a winning culture. Absolutely, Jim. You know what? Because every single situation, we've seen it before. Over the last 30, 40 years, I've seen every single situation, and I've seen us get out of these situations. And I know what it takes to get out of those situations, of course. Liza Rami, Rashford should be better. He grew up watching players like Rooney, Ronaldo, etc. He tried to copy Ronaldo, isn't it? But you know what? He doesn't have the work ethic of Ronaldo. You know, you can take the cow to the river, but you can't force the cow to drink the water. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, you can train as much as you want, but it doesn't mean that you're going to become prime Ronaldo. You got to have work ethic for that. You got to have, back in the day, players used to stay behind. Players used to stay behind and train. Do you know what I mean? They used to train back in those days, stay behind, not having to be told extra training. They used to do extra training on their own accord. These days, they're like, I'll finish my training, I'm off to the pub, sort of thing. Not that extreme, guys, I know. But, it's a bit like that, of course. Metaphorically speaking. So is there any reason Amorim will not get the perfect lineup tomorrow? He can't get the perfect lineup. I don't think we've got the perfect players to get the perfect lineup, Darko. We have to have the perfect players to get the perfect lineup. There's no such thing as a perfect lineup. What you can do is build the best team, and at the end of the day, Man United, Ruben Amorim's going to try and pick his best team, and I trust Ruben Amorim. I do. I'm not, at the end of the day, it could go wrong tomorrow. I'm confident it won't. I feel like he will get it right eventually. He will get it right. At the end of the day, Ruben Amorim is coming mid-season with a bunch of players that are not his, trying to implement a style of football that, none of these players have ever heard of, ever played. They've got a counter-attacking mentality, of course. And you know what? One thing I would say is that, onwards and upwards. Glory, Man United. And let's try and do it, man. Let's try it. And I hope that the team that plays tomorrow will put in a great display, and make us proud. Make us proud. Show us, you know what I mean? That what you can do for us, what you can do for your football club and the badge, because that's what it's all about, isn't it? It's the badge of Manchester United. That's what we care about at the end of the day, guys. It's the badge of Manchester United. We care about Manchester United, of course. Okay, nice one. Big up Rasta, by the way. Big up. Big up Kenny, my friend. Big up Jim. Big up Kenny, of course. Everyone, of course, guys. Of course, Matata, big up Matata, Rasta, big up everyone. Of course, guys, big up everyone. Well, that was a great show. Thank you, everyone who's joined me today. Of course, guys, a little bit shorter. Sorry, I was a bit late today, but you know what? I had a lot to do today. It was ridiculous the amount of things I had to do today. Guys, all I was thinking in my head is that I've got to get to my community. I've got to get to my community. I need to do this. I've got to get to my community. That's what it's all about at the end of the day, you know. And yeah, guys, thank you, everyone, for joining me. But do you know one thing I would say, guys? The one thing I would say is that tomorrow's going to be a difficult game. Yeah, we know it's going to be a difficult game. It's going to be a hard game. But I want to see Man United start the game fast. I want to see us start the game quick. The key to tomorrow is starting the game quick. And you know what? Starting the game confidently. That is the key tomorrow. And not giving anything away in the opening 20 minutes, because we've done that in the past. The open 20 minutes, we're giving away stupid opportunities, stupid goals, etc., etc. Man United need to move away from that sort of thing. Man United need to move away from giving away stupid goals and stuff like that. Absolutely. Jim, tomorrow I want United to go out there and bully City to dominate. And yes, feed off it. Feed off their weaknesses. Feed off their weaknesses. Make sure that City don't settle down, and please tackle them every little bit, every tiny little opportunity you get to win the first balls, and attack Manchester City and counter-attack them to the best of your ability and capitalise on any opportunity that you get. That's what Man United need to do tomorrow. Man United, every chance we get, we have to capitalise on it. And the counter-attack is going to be very important tomorrow. I know we're talking about counter-attack in football, but it's going to be very important, the counter-attacking side of things tomorrow. Absolutely. Matata, please tell Jim to watch tomorrow's match and not go to sleep. I mean, Jim Ratcliffe needs to pick it up, man. A lot of pressure on Jim Ratcliffe. He's made a lot of huge decisions over this last couple of weeks and months. He's made a lot of huge and a lot of sacrifices. So at the end of the day, he's on fraud watch, isn't he? Basically, he's a little bit on fraud watch. Don't want to sound too sinister, but he is a little bit on fraud watch. So we're gonna have to wait and see what happens in regards to that, guys. Absolutely. Greeks, thanks, Kenny. Bless you. And thank you, everyone, for joining me today. It's been a fantastic show. Don't forget to tune into Chatbox later when I'll be doing my preview for the Man United Man City game. Of course, it is the Manchester Derby weekend, of course, guys. So looking forward to it. Guys, getting a little bit anxious, getting a little bit fidgety. I mean, definitely, guys, absolutely. And I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to it, to be honest with you. And you know what? What a way it would be. What a night it would be if we go and beat City tomorrow. What a game that would be. I'm doing a watch along, guys, so don't forget any of it, of course. Andy, how you doing, my friend? Good to see you, mate. Good to see you. Hope you're doing well. Good to get rid of Rashford ASAP. You don't like Rashford? Yeah. I mean, Rashford could be out the football club. It looks likely he's going to be out the football club in the summer. Manchester United have chosen Garnacho over Rashford, who they're going to sell. And they've chosen Rashford. Marcus Rashford will not be playing for Man United next season, in my opinion, I think. And I think it would be good for Marcus Rashford. I think if he goes to another football club, I think it'd be good. I mean, look, if Ineos do sell Marcus Rashford, it's a good sign, isn't it? That no one is being, no one is invincible. No one is indispensable. That's how it should be at Man United. No one should be indispensable at Man United Football Club. It's about the badge. It's not about any individual players. It's not about Player FC. It's about the football club. That's what it's all about at the end of the day. That's one thing I would say. Jim, Sal, I won't respond to Matata. He's trying to wind me up. Don't wind people up, guys, in the chat, please. Don't wind people up. And we're all Man United fans at the end of the day on the same boat, guys. So at the end of the day, look, we have to support each other and hope Man United win. We got enough problems as it is to create problems between the community. We cannot be creating problems between the community when we got enough problems of our own, guys. But yeah. I hope you like my backdrop. It's not green screen, of course. Guys, someone said that earlier. Maybe you want me to run in the beach. No, absolutely. But yeah, thank you, everyone, today who's joined me, of course. Great stream, as always. Thank you, Darkrow. Thank you very much, my friend. Thank you very much. Thank you for joining me, everyone. I'll be back later on for Chatterbox for the match preview between Man United and Man City. Don't forget to join me for that. Pop your head in. Say hello. Hello, hi. Hello, hi. Big up everyone who's joined me today. I'm Sal Warner. This is Breaking Dawn. I'll see you later on for Chatterbox. Come on, United. Glory, glory, Man United. Keep the faith, keep the belief. Let's go. Peace.